Morning, chapter 23. Almighty, you are a badass. Part 5 says, how to kick some ass. Not that you can see that, it's all backwards, but here we go. Chapter 23, the almighty decision. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. The moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. The story goes that when Henry Ford first came up with the idea for his V8 motor, he wanted the engine to have all 8 cylinders cast in one block. I have no idea what that means, but apparently it was a tall order because his team of engineers was like, "Bitch, you crazy!" He told them to do it anyway, and off they grumbled, toiled away at it, only to come back and inform him that it was impossible. Upon hearing this news, Ford told them to keep at it, no matter how long it took. He was all, "I don't want to see your faces until you bring me what I want." And they were all, "We just proved it can't be done." And he was all, "It can't be done, it can be done, and it will be done." And they were all, "Cannot," and he was, "Can so," and they were all, "No way," and he was all, "Way." Can you imagine? No way, away. So off they went again, this time for a whole year and nothing. So they got back to Ford, and there's lots of tears and finger pointing and hair pulling, and Ford sends them off again and tells them it will be done again. And then in the lab, somewhere between folding origami swans out of their notes and making fart noises every time someone mentions the word Ford, his engineers do the impossible. They discover how to make his 8-cylinder engine block. This is what it means to make a decision for reals. When you make a no-nonsense decision, you sign up fully and keep moving towards your goal, regardless of what's flung in your path. And stuff will most definitely get flung, which is why making the decision is so crucial. This shit's not for sissies. The moment it gets hard or expensive or puts you at risk of looking like a moron, if you haven't made the decision, you'll quit. If it wasn't uncomfortable, everyone would be out there all in love with their fabulous lives. So often we pretend we've made a decision, when what we've really done is lined up and try until it gets too uncomfortable. Henry Ford didn't even make it past the 6th grade, and there he was, bossing around a bunch of the world's biggest engineer smarty pants, setting himself up to look like a total idiot by spending large amounts of money and time on the proven impossible. Ford was determined, and he trusted his gut, his vision, more than the small thinking of others. He made the decision that he would have his engine the way he would have it, and nothing was going to stop him. This is why the decision is so important. If you had an idea and had to go up a room full of people who knew better than you did and demand that they do what you say in spite of all the proof you had against you, would you stick to your guns? Or if you needed tens of thousands of dollars to start a new business, and the only person you could think of to ask was your scary rich uncle who never remembered you, who you even were, even though you saw him every Christmas, would you ask him for it? Or if you were sick of feeling fat and unsexy and out of shape, and the only time you could make it to the gym was 5 a.m. on freezing winter mornings when you were all snugly in bed, would you go? If you made the decision that you were going to reach the goals, you would do whatever it took. If you merely wanted to, but hadn't made the firm decision to, you'd roll over and begin convincing yourself that life is fine just the way it is. This is where being connected to your desire and source energy and having an unshakable belief is not yet seen is so critical. There are plenty of times when we get a brilliant idea and its temporary fails or it pushes us into unfamiliar territory. If we don't have a strong connection to the truth, we live in an abundant universe. We are awesome, glorious, and tear-jerky, lovable. A blazing desire and an unflinching belief in our own vision before it's manifested. We'll fall prey to our own fears and everyone else's fears that it's not possible and giving up, instead of course correcting or pushing on through and bringing it to life. As Winston Churchill so aptly explained, success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. Next page. Nobody gets to the top of the mountain without falling on his face over and over again. Well, some people do, but not very often. By the way, back when Henry Ford insisted to a room full of annoyed engineers that his V8 engine could be built the way he envisioned it, it was after he'd already gone bankrupt in his first attempt at creating an automobile empire. So at that time, he already had plenty of proof that he was capable of failing on a massive scale. But his faith in him and his vision was so strong that he stuck with it in spite of all the evidence around him that pointed to big fat loser, and became one of the most successful entrepreneurs of all time. Temporary failure is all the rage. All the cool kids have done it. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team for lack of skill. Steven Spielberg, a high school dropout, was rejected from film school 3 times. Thomas Edison, who was dubbed to be too stupid to learn anything by a teacher, tried more than 9,000 experiments before successfully creating the light bulb. Soichiro Honda, I'm sorry if I'm getting that name wrong, but the founder of the Honda Motor Company, was turned down by Toyota for an engineering position so he could start his own damn company. So he started his own damn company. Beethoven's music teacher told him he was talentless, and more specifically, was hopeless at composing. Beethoven turned a deaf ear. I know, so bad, sorry. Fred Smith wrote a paper while at Yale about his big idea and for overnight delivery service. He got a C. He went on to create FedEx anyway. The only failure is quitting. Everything else is just gathering information. There's no big mystery to this stuff. If you want something badly enough and decide that you want it, you will. Go and get it. You've done it before. You've lost the weight, gotten the job, bought the house, quit the nasty habit, gotten in shape, asked someone out, splurged on front row tickets, grown out your bangs. You just need to remember that you can do it with anything in your life, even the things you presently think are out of your reach. There are plenty of people out there in the world living the kind of life you only dream about living, many of whom are far less fabulous and talented than you are. The key to their success is that they decided to go for it. They stopped listening to their tired old excuses, changed their lousy habits, and got the fuck on the fuck. Here's how you can too. And there's quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm going to stop that there and we'll go over what you can do tomorrow, okay? See ya.